Hello, everyone. Thank you for watching today. It is Thursday, October 13th, and thanks for watching again. If you just watched my video with Debbie on 3 ways to market yourself, got good information there and more to come over the next 3 weeks. But today, I want to talk to you, and I'll try to keep this reasonably short because it's a very important topic in real estate, at least for me, because being a broker of selling over 200 plus houses a month and thousands of houses. I wish, if I had a nickel for every time a deal fell through, we have more deals that fall through than go through, not because of the agent, not because of the buyer, because of the loan officer, And I want to make a public service announcement. I will say this, my video here, just in case people see it, or more people see it that disagree with me. This is my disclaimer, this is my opinion, this is my experience, this is my thought on helping people get through buying us a house in the best, easiest way and get the best service, the best value package with them, with the realtor and their lender. So I make the topic of this. Do not let your buyer, can't force them, you can't control them. Do not suggest to your buyer, just call around looking for the lowest rate, and you should not either. Now, realtors, everybody out there that's not a realtor, put your earmuffs on. Realtors, we all know that we're independent contractors. We're all our own businesses. We get to decide who we want to work with. We get to decide how to price our services for our time, our effort, and what we're going to put into it. And we have a market price. Not going to go into detail what that is, but we all know that there's a market, there's a range of what we charge for our services, not just listing agents. I'm saying that again, not just listing agents. For some reason, some buyers agents think, I don't charge the buyer anything. That could be true. There are some agents that do charge their buyer. There are some agents, again, let me go put some earmuffs on to everybody that's not a realtor. There are some agents that will credit some of their commission towards the buyer to help them with their closing costs if they use them. So maybe you're not charging, but there are agents. So if you are an agent that never gave your buyer a home warranty, never helped them pay for the closing costs, never gave them a credit, you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to do that as long as it's disclosed to all parties, it's in an addendum, all parties know about it, it's out there, including my buyer's agent to credit buyer X, everybody signs it. But there are agents that do that. And so how would you feel as an agent if someone called you up and said, hey, your cousin Joe referred me to you, but I'm calling agents around to see who's I'm going to use as my buyer's agent and who's going to give me the most of their commission to buy a house. How would you feel? What's the first thing you're going to say to them? Says, that's not how to shop for an agent. Who's going to give you the most money? It's a service altogether. Who's going to give you the best service? But for some reason, as realtors, some realtors, not many, are telling their buyers, find the best rate for you. That's like a lender telling a realtor, shop for a realtor that's going to give you the most money towards your closing costs. Do not pick a realtor for their service. Don't worry about their market. If it's a fair deal, find the cheapest realtor you can. But guess what? Loan officers don't do that. I can't say that 100%, but I don't know any loan officers in the last 30 years that when they get a client and first that refers them and tells them, hey, just shop around, find the realtor. They use realtors that they think that they'll They'll give them maybe some options. They'll say, these are agents I used in the past, but search around. And these are good agents that do a great job for you. But what happens if a lender told an agent, hey, by the way, I'm sending someone to you, but I'm telling them to call 5 other realtors and see who gives them the most commission? Do you think you would ever refer that lender ever again in your group of lenders that you refer them to? If you told a lender, hey, but realtors do that to lenders. And even worse is this. Imagine I have some realtors, I say, you got to tell your buyer to interview as many loan officers they want, get their general idea of costs and rates, give them, have them spend a little bit of time for them. But lenders, especially with people that are not perfect credit, perfect income, been at their job forever, have lots of money in the bank, if they need work, these lenders work really hard and have costs, credit reports and things, and lots of costs to work on these loans, and then have their processors and underwriters and everybody doing all the work to get a pre-approval. And there's lots of sometimes hours and time, effort into lending. And then even worse, I have agents go, oh, had this loan officer do all of this work. They've been in touch with us for the last 2 or 3 months, got a pre-approval from. Then when I get to the house, when we got a contract, I say, shop around some more, see who has got a better rate, and shop that loan officer again after they did all the work. If you're watching this, and you say, that's the way to do business, imagine this. A loan officer, you referred the loan officer to them, one of the loan officers, they pick that one to do the pre-approval, they do all the approval, they do all of the work. And then that buyer calls the loan officer and said, hey, I found a house and my agent, we're going to write up an offer today or tomorrow. And we'll write an offer on it. And what would you feel if that loan officer said, hey, wait, let's shop around realtors now. Here's a couple other realtors to call before you write up that offer. And some of them will credit some of their commission towards you to buy that house. Now, in real estate, we have our Board of Realtors rules and guidelines. I'm not going to go into detail procuring costs. We got something that protects us. All of our time, all of our effort. We show a house and we have a fail safe. Well, not work all the time, but it's there. We show a house, we did all the work, we gave them the information. They can't change realtors on us because we have procuring costs. I'm not going into detail. Loan officers don't have that. They don't have that. They have nothing. They put all of their time in. And if someone gets a loan after a loan officer put all the time, they don't have that. So the point I'm getting to today is, just like realtors, we have a range. We have of commission that we charge sellers, that we earn from buyers, and loan officers do too. Loan officers within a range, they have rates. Could be, and this is a big range, 6.5% to 7.5%. I'll just throw out that. It's really, that's a big range, a whole percent. It's usually smaller than that. And they have closing costs within a few hundred to a few thousands of dollars. And I would suggest to our buyers to go, listen, you want to get a good deal, a fair deal. Will you get the lowest? I don't know if you'll get the lowest. There might be some bank, internet bank based out of Las Vegas that's offering a lower rate today with no closing costs. I don't know. But I know these lenders that I usually recommend, but you're welcome to call others. Don't just shop rate. Get a good deal. Don't get the highest rate. Don't get the lowest rate. Get something that's good. When you get someone that helps you, that's going to be there for you, is going to put in the time, going to be available, like realtor hours. I'll make that thing. Realtor hours. When do you work? Weekends, nights, 8 o'clock in the morning. Not going to tell. Realtor hours, when you're available helping them, they need an answer, and you need a loan officer, in my opinion, that works with you and your schedule. So I could go on and on about this, but there's a big pet peeve when I have agents call me and go, oh, this buyer, I referred them to a couple loan officers. They got a pre-approval and sorry, go back. Even worse, I've had agents and buyers use a pre-approval from one lender that did all of the work and did all the work in the pre-approval and then switched lenders because it shopped them around. Now imagine this. I'm gonna keep going with this. Imagine this. Of course, that lender maybe locked them into a rate, did all the work, got them here. And then what did they do when they start shopping around? They already tell the other lender what rate they're at. They go, hey, I got a 7% rate already locked in. Can you beat it? What are they going to do? They're going to do everything they can to beat it. You gave them the baseline, but you didn't give the first one. It's kind of like when buyers buy a house and they got a contract and it's in stone. What do you think the second a backup buyer is going to do? You go, hey, I have a contract already at 200,000. It's already done. I'll give you 201. I'll give you 205 because they already told the second one what the first one was. So is that fair to the first person? Would that be fair to you for someone to say shop realtors after you did all the work? Would it be fair to a buyer if a seller says, hey, I'm accepting your offer, but I'm going to go talk to a lot of other people and see if someone will give me higher after they accepted the offer, not before. Don't do that to your loan officers too, because you want people that want to work with you, that are going to look out for your buyers and give them a good, fair deal, that they're not paying the highest, they're not getting the lowest, they have a good everything. Because I see buyers, and then this is the last point I was making, fall apart because the loan officer that they don't know, that you don't have a relationship with, they don't know, found online at some company, has no fear to roll the dice. And then when you get to closing, and I've had this happen often, they get to closing and there was something missed, especially with closing costs. Sorry, I could go on for hours about this. They didn't tell them all the costs. They told them just their mortgage costs, not the title fees, not the complete, all the money needed to close, the total close money needed to close, your prepaids, your title fees, your mortgage fees. Some loan officers don't tell them everything. They dance on the line. And I'm not going to say they're breaking any laws, but some of them dance on the line. They tell them a rate, they quote them a rate, but they didn't pull their credit yet. And then they tell them after they got everything in and they're already 3 weeks before closing, already told the first loan officer, I'm going with someone else. And that one closes out the file, kills the deal. Then they got this other person go, oh, by the way, your 649 credit score went down a little bit. You need 650 to get this rate. Now you're at a higher rate. Now they're higher than the first people, but the first people are not don't have enough time to do the deal. So they've stuck with it. So don't let your buyers just shop rate. Really, just there's rate and cost, rate and cost, rate and cost. You wouldn't want them to do it. You want to say, get a fair deal, get a good rate, a decent rate within the market yield. You can search online. What's the average 30-year fixed? Great. Within a range. It says online, it says average 30-year fixed, say 7%. Great. Get 6.8, get 7.125, get 7.25, get 6.75. Get something within that range. And it's fair. That's a good deal at the market at that time. So please, anybody, I'm happy to talk to you about this in one-on-one because I've been in this business 30 years. I've seen terrific loan officers at different mortgage companies and banks. I've seen some terrible ones. I have people that I would never even recommend ever. Usually they get out of the business after a few years. And right now, the great thing, well, I'm sorry, don't let me say great. The thing that's happening now is the mortgage business, because of refinances are gone, mortgage business is down like almost 50%. Almost 50 or more. I didn't even look at the recent numbers. So a lot of loan officers are in are getting out of, they're going to be getting out of business just like that. They're half their business or more, if they were concentrating on refinances, are gone. So there's going to be some less loan officers. You got to make sure your loan officer stays in the business, check on them if they're still in business. Two, make sure that they're still giving good service, because there's going to be some loan officers, just like realtors, become part-time loan officers because all of a sudden their income dropped and they had to go get another job. So that's another question to ask your loan officer. Are you full-time? Do you have another job? Because they work just like you, a lot of commission only. So make sure, are you full-time? What are your hours of business? Are you going to be available? Because I see a lot of loan officers that are going to get out of the business. They're going to be getting other jobs because their business is fallen quite a bit in just less than a year. So make sure your good loan officers are still there for you and doing a good job. So that's it. I'm going to stop there. I talk too much as it is. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching and listening. And remember, call me, text me, email me anytime. I'll put you on my schedule, talk to you about anything. Well, definitely real estate related, because I know that business. So have a good day. Have a good Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.